I say, think about what's relevant, you know, what can we have a chat about and stuff like that. And it was really about trying to be the best version of yourself. I mean, it's a theme that you kind of go through all the time. And it was then just about, you know, what's happening around about us, and what can we do, how can we respond to it, how can we react to it, how can we support each other, but also how can we support ourselves during you know, the things that are uncontrollable from the outside. So that was the kind of stuff, was it?
Yeah, and I think so, like for me, I was kind of having a little bit of conflict in my mind yesterday because I decided that I would take part of the day off yesterday. I know, shocking. However, I was like trying to justify it in my mind, like, you know, oh well, you were working late nights last week and you also worked Saturday, but Monday's really a work day, and going round in my head. And then I thought, like, what even is normal? Like, I am comparing myself against this so-called normal 9-to-5 existence, when actually that doesn't even exist for anyone, I don't think. Like, I don't think there's many jobs you could go in and do like 9-to-5 or whatever. So for me, I started thinking about that. Then I started thinking about homeschooling. So yesterday morning, our daughter had been up through the night, and like we'd had like a family, we'd had like such a disrupted sleep, and yesterday was first day of homeschool. So we made the decision, we're like, you know what, let's go take the dog for a walk first, let's go to the beach, let's get some fresh air, and then come into it, you know. But then that societal norm in my head was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, should we really be at the beach when we're supposed to be at school? But then who's to say that school needs to be 9 to 3? So again, it's that societal norm of fitting in with what we deem is normal. Yeah, there is no normal. Like, you know, even our daughter Lily has said that to me one day. She went, Mummy, do you ever wonder what it would be like to have a normal life? And I'm like, what do you mean by that? Then she says, you know, just like other people who, you know, like don't have all our animals and, you know, don't do the things that we do. And I was saying to her, you know, this is our normal. Like, this is our normal for me to get up early and do the horses and take the dog for a walk and feed our tortoise and, you know, hi John, hey Zara, Margaret, you know. So I think we all try to fit in this box. And, you know, many people will get, like, especially like from my nature of my work, working with people with anxiety and depression, where we feel like we don't fit in. You know, it's human nature to want to fit in, to be normal, so we don't stand out, so we don't kind of put ourselves in danger of judgment or. I mean,
when I was full scale at the 3As. It was like kind of 12-hour days and stuff like that, and it was, you know, I felt I had to be in the office 12 hours a day. And then since then, with the new business, the Coots Many Consultancy, which is a bit more flexible, it was a case of it was being there when other people are there. So it's not just 9 to 5 or 9 till 9 or 8 till 8 or 6 till 6 or whatever it is. It's very much a case of, you know, working it as it works. You know, because you know, contacting, you know, candidates and all that kind of stuff I can do in the evening. You know, so having to work 9 to 5 and also having to work in the evening was just a mindset or a norm that I thought was normal. But really, it actually isn't. You can go and have 9 holes of golf in the afternoon if you want, because you know you're going to be doing something later on in the day. But really, it's all about outcomes. It's about productivity. It's about goodness. It's about you know, meeting your values. It's all about that sort of stuff. But they're not all time sensitive or norm sensitive, if you like. So it's about you know, you feeling comfortable with what you've done or what you're doing versus you feeling that you have to do this or you have to do that. That, I think, is where the conflict comes in.
Yeah, and I think, like, you know, like for those of you who are maybe opening up more or on your spiritual path as well, there can be a huge process of divide of what is normal and what is not normal, and, you know, people try to hide elements of themselves to fit in. So I know even like through some of my work that I do, I'm very conscious about certain words I use, or not so much now, but maybe when I first began, I didn't want to kind of alienate anybody through my own beliefs, so I would kind of temper what I was putting out in the world for fear of alienating people or alienating myself, when actually the only way to be is yourself and do like your own thing. So I don't know, like, how do you guys define normal? Like, what is normal?
I'm reading a book at the moment that what I've taken from the first kind of 60 pages is the theme is honesty and is truthfulness, and what he's saying is if you're honest with yourself and you're true to yourself, that's when you get the best of yourself, because you've nothing to hide. You're not hiding anything. You're not trying to be something else. You're not having to overthink about, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to behave this, I need to behave like that. It's very much about being honest with who you are, what you are, and what you're about. And when you are that, you then get on with it, if you like. You do it. And if it means that, and we've spoken about before, about people being in your lives and coming in and out and all that kind of stuff, when you're true to you, you then find out everybody else around about you who's meant to be around about you at the end of the day. I mean, it's not always easy being honest and truthful with yourself. I think it's a challenge, but life is just one ongoing challenge that we're all lucky to be part of. And I think that if you can pursue that, that may create what you deem as what's normal or what is norm.
Yeah, but I think people seeking normal, for example, can be such a pressure for people. And even like, especially during these times when we're under constant underlying stress or under constant change, that people are seeking and searching for what is normal when normal isn't there. So it's like,
there's your normal.
Yeah, there is no normal. There is no normal,
Absolutely.
and even like, obviously having a child that has, autism,
Challenges,
for example, like he was always being compared against to what was normal. Even our youngest, Lily, when she was a baby, or younger, she didn't speak for so long. And,
which is a surprise coming from us.
Which is a surprise coming from us, yeah, and also now. But she didn't speak for so long, and I remember panicking as a mother because everyone was like, well, this isn't normal for that age. We're comparing against what normal is, and what is normal. I think, as you mentioned, just being yourself and being like
absolutely,
your core,
absolutely. There's nothing normal about anything, quite frankly, in my view, anyway. Rightfully or wrongfully, but that's what you're getting from me. Is that there's nothing normal about anything. It's about how you perceive it. It's about how you live it. It's about how you work it. It's about how you interact with it. And that is when you find out who you are and what you're about. Whether you go and do this, whether you go for a walk, whether you go and play a game of golf, that's normal stuff for you, and it's about being comfortable with it. But I think that's the challenge, isn't it? That maybe people who don't have people around about them, or they're not living in a big family, or they're living on their own and stuff like that. You can get an overactive mind that starts kind of speaking to you, which essentially is you speaking to yourself anyway, about. Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Or should I do this? Or should I do that? And what happens is then an hour's passed, and it's kind of come and gone, and you think, oh my goodness, well, what's happened? What have I done?
Shona's saying there, normal is being redefined during COVID, and I don't think it exists, as I feel normal is almost the development of mainstream routines which have been scrapped of late. Absolutely, and I think like that whole that's exactly it, isn't it? Mainstream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mainstream. What's popular?
What is mainstream?
What's the the flavour of the month?
I think when I was at school, it was called the nuclear family, the 2.2. The 2 kids, boy and girl, dog, car and driveway, 2 up, 2 down house. I mean, that was normal. That was what they kind of threw at us. We had 4 kids, so we probably weren't a normal family in that respect, from a nuclear perspective. But it was a case of that's what we were. We lived from there. So it really is. It's.
You'll have your own normal routine.
You will. It's like a lot of things. It's like accomplishments. You know, for example, if you take the 4-minute mile, which for centuries was never achieved, and then Bannister did it way back whenever it was in the early 20th century. And then as soon as he did it, right, so this wasn't normal, so as soon as he did it, it was amazing how many people ran a 4-minute mile the year after he did it. So he broke the norm, or the perceived norm of it isn't doable.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when people see that it can be done, they go and do it. So it's a psychological, mental power thing to break through what you might perceive or what people are trying to tell you is normal for yourself, for that matter.
Yeah.
I think that kind of thing. So.
So there's lots of societal norms that are out there that we kind of allegedly form to, abide to, whatever, and you could be seen as a kind of, I don't know, maverick, risk taker.
Depending on what circle you're in, of course. I mean, obviously you've got your normal norms about, you know, what you can do legally, and, you know, there's ethics and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, there's still, at the end of the day, it's what people, you know, if you can say to yourself at the end of the day that you've done your best, you've tried to do your best, you've achieved this or not, or you've not achieved this, but you're okay with it, then that to me is something that's worth cherishing, really, at the end of the day, as opposed to every night going to bed saying, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, or I should have done this, or I should have said that. You know, get comfortable with the fact that, you know, you are living your life, and how can you live your best life for you, not for other people.
Does anybody have any questions this morning? What's coming up for you guys? How are you feeling? Is there anything you want us to chat through? Anything you want some help with?
Can you help us, maybe?
Yeah. Just figuring out. It was like having a thought process this morning. I would normally go to Pets at Home in Bridgeton for my guinea pig food because it's super close. But that's in Aberdeen.
Breaking the law.
I'm in the Shire, so I'm not going to break the law. So my thought process was like, where do I find guinea pig food? But anyway, I'm going to go to Ellen for guinea pig food. That's one of my missions today.
That's more than 5 miles as well, so.
Is it?
You know.
Oh well, I'll have to have a look. I'll have to have a look. Leanna's saying one day at a time, absolutely.
Yep.
Hi Tina, good morning. How are you in Ireland?
Wow, Ireland, what's happening there, as well? Is there a lot going on? And,
yeah, I think you're kind of very similar to where we're at. So what's your day? What have you got in store for yourselves today? I am away and I have been meaning to do this for so long. Today I'm away to finish my mini course that I've made. 3 days to come, which is the mini version of 5 days. 5 weeks, sorry.
5 weeks to come, yeah, 5.
So I will be launching that soon at a mega reasonable price for those who maybe just need a little reset. Tina is saying, all good, still under lock and key, lol. Yeah, so, you know, I think we're really fortunate. We live in the middle of, well, not really the middle of nowhere, but we live in the countryside, and we've got lots of open space, and so grateful for that. And we're only a mile from the beach, and
yeah, because I remember the first lockdown as well. You know, the norm, which I think because one of my mates, he lives right at the Bangtown centre, and they noticed a huge significant difference because there was nobody in the streets, there was no cars, there was no hustle bustle, there was no noise, people walking past and nothing. There wasn't any of that, so it was a bit like post Armageddon in a way. But for us out here in the country, there was no difference in a way, apart from we couldn't, you know, choose to travel somewhere or go out in the car. But our day-to-day existence, because of the space we've got and the things that we're doing, we didn't see the same impact unless we switched the telly on and listened and watched what was going on there. So
I think I watched the news for the first time yesterday in about 2 weeks. So yeah, Liana's saying being kind to ourselves and others is what she's finding that actions speak louder than words, practical stuff. Margaret's saying nothing is normal, my dog's life stays the same, fed, watered, walked. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, he like some things like that like keep us in a sense of normality and routine. And today's the first day I've actually really felt in routine kind of again. Like last week I was back to work, and although I was back into the routine, I didn't really kind of feel it. But this morning, I know it's only like 10 to 10, but I've been up since 4:45. So I'm like, I've done my day's work already nearly. So Tina stays in the woods, so it's beautiful there. Liana saying it's okay now to ask my neighbour for a lemon or a lime. Love that. Is that to go in your gin, Liana? Or your herbal tea, maybe.
And here's us trying to determine are our neighbours a lemon or a lime. What do they do?
Louise is saying she feels very fortunate that her new normal is better for her.
Excellent.
No more commuting, running around, working all day at the same desk, at home, dog walks, exercise. Yes. I made and got some chocolate for the kids. Out playing. Liana made some hot chocolate. Kids are playing in the snow.
And the thing is as well is that sometimes what we perceive as normal can be actually unproductive, and we've discovered that as organisations and companies, and people have realised that home working, the productivity levels, apparently I saw a stat somewhere that productivity went up something like about 13% by people working at home and being able to do a job. It's a bit like homeschooling, is it?
Yeah.
Because we're finding that Lily seems to be doing more schoolwork with us at home than she might be doing in the classroom, in the norm of being 9 till 3, whatever it is in the classroom. So sometimes the norm can be as not as productive as doing exactly what Louise is saying there about, you know,
shifting the norm can be
you
good
as well. Yeah, definitely, without a doubt.
Like
you know, exercising, I mean, how good do you feel after that? How productive can you feel after that? If you were sitting at your desk and you went away and ran around the company office building, came back in again, your boss would say, where the hell have you been? Not the fact that you're now powered, you know, and the energy that you've got is tremendous. So absolutely
amazing. So yeah, like John's birthday today. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you.
John is diffusing some sandalwood, frankincense, myrrh, and lemongrass. Yummy, love a bit of lemongrass. For his birthday. Amazing.
Frankincense for everything.
Brilliant. So yeah, I think there's like new norms, and I think that's a really great point, Louise. Like many of us are checking into what works for us now and what feels normal, and often at the start it feels uncomfortable because it's not what we're used to.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to make changes in my mindset, like I mentioned yesterday, towards my work-life balance again, and not kind of go into old patterns and habits. But
it's like all habits, it's like all new learned behaviours, they take time to actually register with you. You know, it takes 21 days to form a habit, but you have to work consciously at doing that thing that doesn't come naturally until it does become natural. Then it's a new norm, a new habit, a new form.
Interesting thing, I was actually speaking to someone about this yesterday about norms. We were watching The Crown. Don't really watch TV. Sorry, I've got hair in my face. I don't really watch TV. However, Stuart has got me hooked on The Crown.
Me?
Like proper hooked on Netflix on The Crown. But yeah, we were just like, I was saying to him the other night, I said, it's not really strange to see people shaking hands and hugging. And then I was saying about this to my sister who's in Australia, and you know, it's a bit more open there. She said they still don't really do the handshaking stuff, and people are cautious of a hug. But like those kind of norms, I can't wait to be normal again. But yeah, it's interesting how quickly things become the norm. I've got a friend who's recently had a baby, well, I'll say recently, a year ago had a baby, and her baby was, you know, pretending to sanitize her hands and do these things, and you know, this baby's grown up in this world where face masks and sanitizing hands is normal. That's just like the norm. So it's really amazing how quickly we pick up this norms in society of what feels right or wrong, or can and can't do, or
definitely,
whatever.
definitely. definitely. It's very much as you know, we're saying here, it's, you know, it's a day by day scenario. I mean, it's looking like things are changing all the time, and the posts are moving. It's a difficult target to aim at. But just if you do the things that make you feel good about yourself, and that's hopefully what should kind of give you.
Yeah, and I think that's the same for
spirit.
like those that are like homeschooling and stuff as well, is to do what feels right for you as a family. You know, like will be some parents who are working 9 to 5 and can't school their kids 9 to 5. There will be.
Well, that's where kids are then getting the opportunity to experience. Are they able to kind of manage themselves? Are they able to manage their time? Are they able to do the things without being instructed? Yes, for sure. You know, or can they take instruction and go and do it?
Yeah, John's made a really great point there. Normal is what you're comfortable with. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to hold that in my head today, John, because I'm trying to push through some uncomfortableness. So I'm going to use that, pushing through the normal. Leanna is gradually beginning to appreciate the power of now, looking after herself throughout the day, not just being on the hamster wheel. Louise Cormac said she's lost 19 pounds so far and she's feeling amazing. Whoa, that is awesome. And is that just from like being out more dog walks, exercising, that having time now since you're not doing that commute?
Wow, fantastic. Superb.
Incredible. Love it. Well done, Louise. Woo! So yeah, so that's awesome. Love it.
Definitely.
So yeah, the new normal is your new normal.
Embrace it.
Embrace it. Yeah, that sounds incredible. So yeah, doing what feels right and good for you and not having to kind of change.
Follow a pattern.
Follow a path. Yeah, like, you know, so say like I like chanting, for example. I like chanting and burning incense and dancing and clapping. Doing all these things, you know, but that might not be deemed normal by some people. But then, John, your life, that would be normal in your world, in life as well. So it's like, yeah, like it's like who you're around as well, isn't it? You know, so if I was to go into an office and just start, you know,
you'd be sacked after a day.
Yeah. Burning my incense and shantying and stuff, it might not go down so well.
Yeah, for sure.
Till everybody feels the vibes.
Of course.
So on that note, I'm gonna go spray some flower essences, chime my singing bowl, and
I'm going to leave her to it.
He's going to leave me in the office. We've got different. We've now shared our office, and it's quite funny because like my desk's like Buddha, crystals, singing bowl, essential oils, candles. Stuart's is very, very professional.
Empty.
Tidy. Mine's just like creative chaos.
Et al.
Yeah.
Indeed, yes.
Quite funny. Yeah. So two different normals, but we work well together.
Correct.
And you do occasionally, you've got your mantra going on from your desk that.
Yep. Yes.
Bit of Diva Pramal going on.
She's the business. She's the business indeed.
Okay. So we will love you and leave you guys today. Please do reach out to us with anything you would like us to cover. I'm just looking at my wall. It says, do what makes your soul happy. So do that. Do that today. Do what makes your soul happy. Connect with what feels right for you.
Yep.
And create your own life.
Pursue the best you can. Don't beat yourself up if you don't achieve everything that you set out to. Just think that had you not set out to do anything, you might have achieved absolutely zippo. So just be grateful for that. Absolutely. And as I think a theme comes through as well, is that not beating yourself up too much, and being grateful. for being alive to be able to achieve and to pursue the things that you want.
Awesome. Okay,
Anyway.
Margaret's saying she misses human contact. She lives alone, but she does Zoom classes to try and keep in touch. Absolutely. Let's see. We'll get that dog walk in the diary.
Yep, we'll definitely do that today. Now the sun's out and the snow's off.
So yeah, try and keep in contact best we can. Yeah, I'm struggling to do that with my family. My sister's in Australia, so I haven't seen her for, I don't know how long that is now. Normally we see each other once a year, but that hasn't happened.
It's over a year and a half anyway.
Yeah. Louise, decide to use our commute time to exercise, lunchtime walks. Yes, amazing. Liana's sending virtual hugs to everyone. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So sending virtual hugs to you guys. Kisses, all that love through the... That's the internet.
Oh, is it? Yes, through all the lines.
And we will speak to you all soon.
Soon.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.